Because I've got a buffalo grass lawn, but it's not my main lawn. It's the lighter colored lawn right over here by the parkway strip, by the road. If you have a buffalo grass lawn, even if it's much bigger than this or this same size, surprisingly, this actually covers quite a lot of square footage, then you know that dealing with weeds in it is pretty important. Mostly because this grass type does not grow dense enough to choke weeds out nearly as much as something like Bermuda grass in my main lawn or Kentucky bluegrass on the other side of my SUV. Buffalo grass lawns are supposed to be low maintenance. They're supposed to require less water, less fertilizer. They're supposed to be easier to take care of. However, we gotta deal with the weeds. That is the one thing that we have to do. And being warm season grass, we have to use the right herbicides to take care of weeds. As you see here, disregard a couple of these dry spots, there's almost no weeds in this section. But my newer section of buffalo grass, from about here on, you're gonna find weeds, more weeds, more weeds, and then this section has been growing throughout the spring from stolons, and there are tons of weeds in here. I suppose this is my newest section. I just seeded this 10 days ago, and they're just starting to sprout. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, but some of the most common weeds that you're going to run across in any lawn are going to be things like kalinga, nutsedge, clover, dandelions, crabgrass. All of these kinds of weeds can be killed, but a lot of times you got to use different products to kill different weeds. And the grass type you're spraying it on or applying this stuff to matters. So in this case, we're applying to buffalo grass. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff on the top of my SUV that I want to talk to you about. I'm going to show you what I consider to be a really spectacular cocktail or mix of products to put on your buffalo grass lawn once or twice a year, but only if you need to. Once you get weeds under control, a pre-emergent pretty much keeps everything looking great all year long without any herbicides. For the sake of this demonstration or, I don't know, showing you what I do, I'm just using a regular old pump sprayer. I put about a gallon of water in there for every 1,000 square feet. And then this is the stuff that I put together. Boom, it fell down. I gotta get a bigger bottle, something a little bit more weight to it. There's some wind out here. All right, so you gotta have a surfactant. That's a no-brainer. So when you put a surfactant into your spray tank, it makes any herbicide adhere to the leaf, like the leaf of the undesirable. It adheres to that leaf better. It coats it better. You know, like a raindrop hits your car, if it's got wax on it, it'll bead. We want it to spread out. That's what the surfactant does. Now, this is not an herbicide. This is a nutrient supplement. It's basically like a fertilizer, but this is more iron-based. So iron is going to take your grass, buffalo grass being a lighter green color than most other grass types, iron is going to darken it up. This is not necessary. This is just for aesthetics. I do it because it's nice to see a dark green by the road when I got a dark green in the middle of my main lawn. In any event, any liquid iron product will work. The reason that I put this into the mix is because iron goes onto the leaf and it gets absorbed by the leaf. All of the other herbicides, I'm just going to leave that down. All of the other herbicides hit the leaf and they get absorbed in. If I were to use any other fertilizer, I want that fertilizer to go onto the dirt and get watered into the dirt and absorbed by the root system. That's not what herbicides do. That's not like the best herbicides are going to go onto the leaf. So that's why I throw that into the mix. Now, Certainty is a kind of a broad spectrum herbicide that is perfectly safe for buffalo grass. As it says, it's going to attack sedges and kalinga. Those are kind of similar kinds of things. It's going to attack many broadleafs, but it's also going to attack grassy weeds like Poa trivialis, also Poa annua. If you've got a warm season lawn, I mean, that's what buffalograss is. But so in warm season territory, there might be some clumping fescue around. It will kill off some of the clumping fescue. It will also kill off any ryegrass. So if you do a ryegrass overseed for the winter, you can use Certainty to kill off the ryegrass towards the end of the winter. It's going to kill off a bunch of other things in the buffalograss strip, dandelions and clover and whatnot, a handful of others. It's going to attack many things. But for nutsedge specifically, I mix in halosulfuron. Now this is I would borderline call this a generic product. This is a generic for Sedgehammer. It says it's somewhere there. There it is. So you can buy Sedgehammer or you can buy one of these generics. Uses the same halosulfuron active ingredient. This is specifically, so this is going to attack the nutsedge to some extent, but this is going to attack it hard. So I mix this into the tank along with this, and both of them are going to really knock back the nutsedge significantly. Because this does attack nutsedge, you probably don't need this, but if you've got a lot of nutsedge, I would absolutely throw it into the tank. Very safe for buffalograss. Now, if you do have a lot of broadleaf weed pressure, so there are tons of weeds that could fall under the broadleaf category, this is going to kill off many of them. But if you have a ton of them, just a salad bar of them, then you're going to want to throw in straight up 2,4-D. 2,4-D is fantastic for killing tons of broadleaf weeds, and it is safe for buffalograss. But because I don't have a wide variety of broadleaf weed pressure anymore, I don't put this into the tank. This is an extra that you may need. It is cheap to buy by itself, but I wouldn't add it into the tank unless I had a ton of stuff that I needed to kill off. Now, you got to think, oh, that's a wide variety of stuff. Why not use like a 3-way or a 4-way herbicide? So this is a 3-way herbicide that I would use over here on my Kentucky bluegrass. The problem though is that it's got dicamba in it. Dicamba is not going to be safe for use on buffalograss. So you got to make sure when you buy, or if you own already a 3-way or a 4-way herbicide, you got to look at the ingredients. What is on the active ingredient list? 2,4-D is on this list. That is safe for buffalograss, but dicamba is not. I would not want to put this on. So whatever 3-way or 4-way or combo herbicide that you have, check the label and look up each specific ingredient for buffalograss use specifically. This I will never put on my buffalograss. Now, of all of these products, none of them are going to kill off crabgrass. So for crabgrass, I have to use something called quinclorac. There you go. Salt of quinclorac. This product is called Quintessential. It is, I don't know, it's a fancy quinclorac. It's got H value, whatever that is. H value technology. This quinclorac is formulated to kill off crabgrass specifically more efficiently or more effectively. I don't know which one. Efficient, effective. Pick your word. You could use a more generic quinclorac. These are a little bit cheaper. They're also going to work very well at killing off crabgrass. Not as effective or not as good as Quintessential, but still quite good. Because I own Quintessential, that's what I'm going to put in my tank. Not only does quinclorac kill off crabgrass really well, it also is the most effective way of killing clover. Clover is not a broadleaf weed, nor is it a grassy weed, nor it is a sedge. It is a legume. So a legume would be something like clover or medic, black medic. I have full videos all about killing clover. Quinclorac is the best way to do it. And because quinclorac can be mixed with Certainty and can be mixed with halosulfuron, nutsedge killer, the three of these, this combo right here, is going to kill off virtually everything. Unless you've got a crazy, weird salad bar of broadleaf weeds, which is where you would throw in 2,4-D. Now, if you're doing a dedicated quinclorac application, I wouldn't use the non-ionic surfactant. Instead, I would use methylated seed oil. This is MSO. This is a better use, or a better, it's not a surfactant, but it acts like a surfactant. Adjuvant, as you will. It basically helps the quinclorac get into the crabgrass or the clover better so that it can work better. But because I'm mixing other things, I'm going to call MSO something that is optional. Just a generic surfactant will work, just not quite as good as this, but adding either one will make this work even better than having not used one of those. Hope that makes sense. Now, with that being said, there are some other weird kinds of weeds, like weird grassy weeds, weird broadleafs, stemmy weeds, things that fall more into the viney category, where you'd be looking at other kinds of herbicides to kill them off. If that's the case, then you have to go with that situationally. But for buffalo grass, the ultimate cocktail for the vast majority of buffalo grass owners is to literally apply these products together once or twice a year until you get weeds under control, to the point where just weed pre-emergence in the spring and the fall keep your lawn looking as clean as possible. I'm getting close on my area back here on the Parkway Strip. I'm certainly like basically there right here, but my newer patches all the way around to the side of my house, I'm gonna have to keep battling these weeds until everything is fully mature. This is how I do it. I don't want to use this stuff for the next 10 years, but for the next couple years or so, maybe less if I'm lucky, I can manage a beautiful buffalo grass lawn that doesn't require very many inputs. Certainly in those first couple years, or in those first couple years getting a buffalo grass lawn under control, you're gonna have to use these herbicides. But in the long run, the biggest benefit of having that buffalo grass back there, the fact that it doesn't require very much maintenance at all. Like, you don't even have to mow it very often, like maybe once every like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I even know that you can mow this stuff like twice a year and you'll be fine. If you want to learn more about buffalo grass, if you don't know anything about it, then make sure to watch this video up here. This is all about why I think buffalo grass is the lawn of the future, why more people should implement it in their lawns or convert to it over the years. I'm going to go ahead and mix this stuff up and apply it to mine, and you'll see in some video down the road how my lawn looks after the weeds are gone.